adverb-clause. Coordinating conjunction, fanboys. Subordinating conjunction. Clause versus phrase. Transition words and types. Punctuation of transition words. Cohesion versus coherence, fragment. A fragment is an incomplete sentence. It doesn't have an independent clause. Example 1, then I saw how good the class was. Example 2, when people believe in something. Click here for practice. Q. Commasplice. Joining two sentences only with a comma and no coordinating conjunction is called commasplice. Example. Incorrect, I was tired, I wanted to watch my favorite movie. Correct, I was tired, but I wanted to watch my favorite movie. Before doing this exercise, finish the next slide on run-on sentence please. Q. Run-on, fused, sentence. Fused, run-on, sentences happen when there are two independent clauses not separated by any punctuation. You can fix this problem by adding a period, semicolon, or comma and fanboys to separate the two sentences. SVSV. Incorrect, my friend is very knowledgeable. Eva learned a lot from her. Correct, my friend is knowledgeable. Eva learned a lot from her. Or, my friend is knowledgeable, Eva learned a lot from her. My friend is knowledgeable, and Eva learned a lot from her. Click here for practice. Q. Independent/dependent clause. An independent clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb and expresses a complete thought. An independent clause is a sentence. Example, Aisha studied hard for her IELTS exam. A dependent clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb but does not express a complete thought. A dependent clause cannot be a sentence. A dependent clause is often marked by a dependent marker word. Example, because Aisha studied hard for her IELTS exam. Q. Coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions connect words, phrases, and clauses. Coordinating conjunctions talk about the things which are equally important, unlike subordinating conjunctions. In order to remember them, you can memorize them as fanboys. To punctuate fanboys, you should put a comma before them only if they join two independent clauses. The sentences before and after them have subject and verb. If one of the sentences doesn't have subject and verb, don't put any commas. Example 1, I was sick, and I had to prepare for an exam. Example 2, I was sick and had to prepare for an exam. F equals for I like my level 4 grammar, for it is much easier than level 3. A equals and he studies at Qatar University, and he works for QNB. N equals nor my son refuses to eat meat, nor does he show any interest in chicken. B equals but her dad is Qatari, but her mom is from Oman. O equals or we can eat at home, or we can pick up something from the drive-thru. Y equals yet our plane is leaving in an hour, yet my brother is still in the shower. S equals so Miriam was sick, so she went to the doctor. Click here for practice. Q. Subordinating conjunction. To subordinate means to introduce something which is less important. Subordinating conjunctions introduce the dependent clause, the less important information, and join it with the independent clause. They also introduce an adverb clause. Here is a list of the most common ones. Important. To punctuate the subordinating conjunctions, you should put a comma only when they are used in the beginning of a sentence as an introductory phrase. If they come in the middle of the sentence, you won't need any punctuation for them. After all, though, as soon as, because, before, by the time, even if, even though, every time, if, in case, in the event that, just in case. Now that. Once, only, if, since, the first time, though, unless, until, when, whenever, whereas, whether or not, while. Click here for practice. Q. Clause versus phrase. Clause. A clause is a pair of words put together which has a subject and a verb. I am hungry. Phrase. Some words put together without a verb. For example, an expression, as light as a feather. Click here for practice. Q commas between independent clauses separated by fanboys. She was tired, unhappy, and sick. After introductory clauses, phrases, and words. To write a good essay, you need to have a good outline. Separate coordinate adjectives. Omar is a cute, happy baby. Don't use commas to separate non-coordinate adjectives. Incorrect, we live in a big, wooden house. Correct, we live in a big wooden house. How do we know if the adjectives are coordinate or non-coordinate? When you see the adjectives, see if they sound correct. 1. When you switch them. 2. When you put in between them. For example, you can't say we live in a wooden big house or we live in a big and wooden house. But you can say Omar is a cute and happy baby or Omar is a happy, cute baby. Careful. Question? Click here for practice. Q. Transition words and types. Transition words are like glue. They hold your thoughts and ideas together in a sentence. They have different types. Example. Add information. Cause. Effect. Compare/contrast. Example for example to illustrate. For instance, Ahmed can play a lot of sports, for instance, basketball, soccer, and volleyball. Add information besides, in addition, moreover, second, third, etc. Furthermore, the president is young and ambitious. Furthermore, he is full of new ideas. Cause as because of, due to, for since. Because we had not booked ahead of time, we could not find any tickets. Effect consequently, so thus hence. Therefore we were late for the movie, therefore, we didn't understand anything. Q. Compare/contrast, although, however, in comparison, in contrast, likewise. Similarly. Nevertheless. Whereas dogs like to chase cats, whereas, cats like to chase mice. Click here for practice. Q. Punctuation of transition words. Follow this formula to punctuate transition words. Transition word, subject plus verb. Example, after all, I could not be disrespectful to my teacher. Subject plus verb, transition word, subject plus verb. Example, I couldn't be disrespectful to her, after all, she was my teacher.